Good morning to our beautiful community, and welcome to a very special lighted torch ceremony. My name is Ella, and I am deeply honored to be here with you today, not just to celebrate a book, but to ignite a movement. She knows her worth, empowerment through self respect and confidence isn't just a title, it is a declaration. A declaration of healing, courage, boundaries, and rising above the noise of self doubt. And today we're joined by one of the brilliant minds and resilient hearts behind this empowering anthology. And I am really excited to get this started. So, Mia, welcome and congratulations.
Hi, Ella. Hi, everyone. Uh, thank you. You're welcome. I'm so honored to have an opportunity to be an author and She Knows Her Worth. So it was a really interesting journey to talk about what's it like to know your worth in there.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. We're really excited to have you here. And now let's dive into this message of worth and confidence. So
Yeah.
I will ask you a few questions and we'll flow from there.
Okay.
So you're welcome to share from the heart. And my first question for you is what does knowing your worth mean to you personally?
Knowing your worth means is that where you stand, where you have self-respect, and the other person also respects you, and the other person doesn't mistreat you or doesn't misbehave with you, or makes you feel useless. So you know where you are. So that's what it means.
That's great. Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with also knowing your own self and knowing your boundaries and knowing what you want and how you want to be treated and just following that. And I
Thank
know the book talks about quieting your inner doubts. So, what are some of the most common inner thoughts women struggle with? And how do you think we can begin to shift that internal dialogue?
With me, I would say is self-respect, and as a content creator, self-respect matters because I've actually dealt with a girl in my community who actually dressed, which I mentioned in my chapter, who actually dressed as a leopard and calls herself artist. That is not the definition of artist. If you want to be an artist, you could be an artist in a way where you don't have to dress weirdly. So that's actually something that happened to me in my community. And then, because my counter argument is, how come I'm not dressed as an animal trying to get views? I'm not doing that. You see me doing videos. You see me doing. I mean, you see me doing food reviews, pageant reviews, this that. But you wouldn't see me dress up like that. So and then it comes to like, okay, are you trying to be like a Hollywood or Bollywood actress? No, you're not, right? So you got to see where you are, and you got to see what you want to gain from there, because that's the thing as a content creator. But aside from it, as a woman, like, it's like, you have to find where do you feel your worth. So I think that matters.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think it's important to know your worth so you can quiet your inner thoughts and just make the best you can. And I think it's also important to celebrate even the smallest wins. So, what do you think is that so important in the journey to building self confidence? What do you think?
I would say the first step was, so to building self-confidence is do what you like. Don't listen to whatever anyone's going to tell you. I remember when I started as a content creator, and even now, I get told every single time, "Oh, this is not good. You will not get ahead. This is stupid. This is not going to be worth your time. What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" So I get these questions every day, even now. But you know what doesn't stop me is my passion. I love to write, I love to eat, and I love to make videos of it. So that's pretty much what it is. So it's like, from a career perspective, that's how I see it, because I know there's going to be a bigger opportunity one after the other, and not all opportunities are paid. Sometimes you do voluntarily one, sometimes you get paid one. So it works like that.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think sometimes we're not aware of the things that actually bring us to life, and we need to celebrate that as well, even the smallest win.
Like with me, when I actually started working with festivals, because last summer I worked with a halal rib festival in my community, and it wasn't paid, but the exposure and the experience I got to live my dream to be an anchor, which is something that I wanted as a kid. That time I didn't know anything about taking broadcasting and whatever. I was like, I was like preschool or something, I don't remember. But I got to live my dream. And then it's like, what I do is good because I feel like I'm living that dream of like, it maybe not, it might not be financial freedom, but it's gonna be financial freedom until sometime, no? Like not in like that sense, but it's like you get different opportunities. You get to speak, do public speaking, you get to collaborate with different companies. Like there's people that I'm working with that I never thought in my life I could be doing so much, and I'm doing it now because I did it with my own willpower.
Thank you. That's very important. To celebrate all of those things that you achieved and you accomplished by yourself, it's really important, and it's always nice to give yourself credit for that. So I think that what you're saying is really really important. And before we continue, I just want to pause and acknowledge something powerful. As this anthology is a mirror reflecting the strength, softness, clarity, and courage that lives within every woman. And the stories are already resonating with readers because they are real. As we were discussing, the stories are real and come from a very unique and special perspective. And the stories are also raw and they offer hope. So I think that to all of the authors here and for you, Junia, thank you for raising your voice, for standing in your truth, and for reminding us that we are worthy just as we are. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that and for reminding us that with your story.
You're welcome. And I feel like everyone has a story to do with being worth. It doesn't mean if like a lady is like single, married, whatever her marital status is, everyone has their worth somewhere. So it doesn't need to be that, oh, you need to get married, I need to do this to get your worth. No, you could even do the same things without even being married. So that's also another thing. That itself is something I don't want to talk about. That's not really part of this. But what I'm saying as an example, right? To know your worth, you need to just stand up for yourself. You don't have to care about where your marital status is, where you're living at. No, just do your work. That's all. That's in my opinion.
Thank you. Yeah, that's important. Doesn't matter your background, you're always worthy.
True.
And what's one thing you hope every reader walks away with after reading She Knows Her Worth?
I hope people get inspired by all the amazing stories that are in here because each and every author, including myself, we all have something to share. So someone maybe will find it inspirational, someone will take it as advice, someone will take it as self-help book, something like that.
That's really amazing. And this goes to every woman who needs to remember that her value is not up for debate. She knows her worth, and so do we.
True.
Thank you so much, Inia, for showing up. Thank you for showing up not just today, but for yourself and for every reader who will find healing in your words, because I'm pretty sure they will. And to everyone watching, She Knows Her Worth is now available on Amazon. So please grab your copy and share it with someone who needs this reminder. And we'll see you next time on Light the Torch. So thank you once again, Nia, for your time. Thank you for your amazing words. And until then, please walk tall, speak kindly to yourself, and remember your worth is not something you earn, it's something you own. So thank you so much, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.